Do 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 do. Yeah. Got that jaguar spirit, got that warrior spirit, got that powerful spirit, cause I'm connected to spirit. I ain't got no enemies, nah, I got heavenly energies, y'all. Yo, what's up? I just want to put y'all on. Okay, this is hibiscus goji berry with some maple syrup, coconut milk. I'm telling you right now, you're not ready for how good this is. I've been drinking this for like 2 weeks. Welcome, beautiful souls, to Crystalline Temple. Today, I'm going to be talking about it's okay. You don't have to be strong all the time. Ending people pleasing and setting boundaries. Those are going to be our topics for today. I got my notes here that I took earlier today. Okay, I just want to rant about being strong. Like, people will be like, you're so strong to have went through all of that. Or you're just such a strong person. Like, I see that you went through that. And then, like, why do I always gotta be strong, though? This is not to say that being strong is a bad thing, right? People value strength, right? But I feel like society and social structures put a lot of pressure on being strong, as if it's a way that you constantly have to perform. We all go through things, we all go through challenges, but you're strong, you got this. Like how the fuck you really think I'm supposed to carry all this though? I'm only a human. I can only do so much. And when you live most of your life hearing like, oh, you're just so strong for all that you've went through and not succumbing, like, bitch, I'm tired. I'm tired as fuck. Okay? Like, I'm tired. I'm tired of being strong. Like, how much does one person have to carry? Excuse my language. When we are at our weakest place in life, where we feel very vulnerable, when you hear you're so strong, or you just assume over time, like, you just have to be strong, you have to put your feelings aside, you have to put your well-being aside, and you have to take a step forward, whether that's for yourself or for somebody else. And in a lot of aspects, that ignores the fact that we need to acknowledge our feelings. It ignores the fact that our mental health and our emotional well-being are important. This overrides our need to be gentle with ourselves, whether that's through grief, actually giving ourselves space and time to acknowledge our needs for, like, healing, for supporting, and just simply nurturing ourselves. But it's like this hustle and grind culture and this life that we live and the social constructs, the social norms is like, we all gotta go through hardships, we all gotta go through challenges, and you just gotta be strong through all of it. But in my weakest state, you don't see that, right? And it's as if it's not okay for you to be weak. It's as if it's not okay for you to feel deeply, simply cry, for you to need help, for you to need somebody to be there for you and nurture yourself. And after so long of just this cycle, no wonder people assume that you are arrogant or you're intimidating. Like, we carrying too damn much. We learn to do everything on our own because we're so strong, and then eventually we are going to reach a breaking point. You're going to reach a breaking point where you're just like, I don't have any energy to give. I'm no longer going to feel guilty or shameful for saying no and setting boundaries. And however you decide to perceive me is how you decide to perceive me. But this is my truth now. How much can you really handle? I think we need to ask ourselves this. And I know we want to think that we're some hero or some Superman, but I am a human. Yes, I can break through different levels of pain, of suffering, of hardships and challenges, but I'm still a peaceful, emotional, sensitive being. And I'm tired. And it's okay if you're tired too. This is why you're watching this video, because you need to hear this as well. And this is not to diminish your strength. This is not to demonize being strong. This is to make you aware of yourself and your needs and the love for yourself. Okay? Oftentimes we can be like, well, I don't want other people to perceive me this way. I don't want other people to perceive me that way because I'm setting a boundary. You are not defined by your availability. Your needs are just as important as anyone else's. Your presence is a gift, it is not a duty. You deserve time to simply exist, rest, recharge, reflect without any expectations. Okay, any narratives that you've been running on that go against this, let's come back around to this and let's actually acknowledge this, because this is a truth. There's expectations of you do not define your value. Do not ignore and overlook everything that you have done, whether it be out of gentleness, whether it be out of a programming because you were living in a role like this since childhood based off of your upbringing, your childhood environment, or the people around you weren't showing up in a supportive, nurturing, and protective way that you needed as a child. You cannot be upset with yourself now as a young adult, as an adult, for those needs not being met. You have to give those needs to yourself now. Your inner child is screaming at you for you to acknowledge him, okay? And you are only going to continue to suffer. You are only going to continue to self-sabotage as you ignore yourself, you ignore your needs. If people perceive your boundaries as cold, you know, it is what it is. Their perception of you has nothing to do with you. Okay? Say it together. Others' perceptions of me have nothing to do with me. This is my truth. These are the things that I value. Remove any shame and any guilt. Any shame and guilt that you have with this information is because you have been in a state of people pleasing your whole life. And you need to exercise not giving a fuck. Because you giving a damn is literally damning you. You're damning yourself because you're putting your needs aside for somebody else's comfort, knowing damn well you are uncomfortable. Ask yourself, why are you not trusting you? Why are you not listening to you? Why are you not acknowledging you? You are whole, but you've given pieces of your pie away throughout your childhood, and now you're just left with crumbs of yourself, and now you don't even remember who you are as a whole. And now you have to scavenge and call back your energy and your power from these moments and these situations where you have neglected yourself. You cannot give when you are not overflowing with your own self, within your own being. And I know at times it may feel like you are in the moment, but we're talking about longevity. You can also be loving, kind, and compassionate without overextending yourself, without overgiving. You are worthy, you are deserving, you are valuable. Like, if you think that your actions towards other people define you, that is where you need to reevaluate your self-worth and your self-concept. And here's a mantra I have for you, okay? Write it down if you need, take some notes, scribbly scratch, okay? It is okay if others see my boundaries as cold. I am not here to meet everyone's expectations. I am here to honor my needs, my peace, my energy. My worth is not determined by how much I give. It's okay for others to feel however they want, but it does not change my truth or my right to care for myself. Lock that into your noggin. Sit with that in your heart space and really let that marinate. Because you are the most important in your life, just like everybody else is the most important person in their own life. Okay, you can't continue to overextend yourself for validation. If you feel like there is an emptiness within yourself, you have to feel that yourself. That's the only way to heal it. It's okay to pause, reflect, and prioritize your emotional well-being. We need to learn how to cope with different experiences and challenges and lessons that come into our life. We cannot handle every problem the same one way. Every moment, every emotion, every experience in your life, sure, if this applies to another past experience and you've learned from it, integrate that into your experience. But if they are new experiences or even experiences that are recycling themselves, you have to sit with them and be like, why? Why does this keep coming up? And I'm handling it this way because that way that you're handling it isn't working. That's not how you're supposed to acknowledge yourself at this time. Say you're drained and you're overwhelmed, but you still continue to show up for people. You still continue to give. It's okay for you to be like, today I don't feel like it. Today I don't want to extend my energy. I love you so much and I appreciate you so much, but no. Acknowledge the sacred no. People take your strength for granted, or they assume that you're always going to be there to carry the load that they dropped. Number 2, they expect you to keep giving even when you're clearly tired and you're hurting. 3, they are always sharing their pain, their problems, and their issues with you, but they rarely give you the amount of space and time of their day when you actually need acknowledge for your own pain. 4, this one hit. People feel entitled for your emotional labor, time, and presence, which has nothing to do with you, by the way. If people continue to feel entitled, That's because, one, we're going to acknowledge ourselves and our actions. We have created this pattern where it's okay, I got you, even though I'm going through shit myself. Well, let's be realistic. Let's take accountability, and let's not take ourselves for granted. We deserve to be seen and acknowledged for our journey because we know everything that we've went through. Only we know the depth of our hurt. Only we know the depth of our pain, our struggles. Okay? So don't allow people to take you for granted. How can you choose you? Ask yourself, what do you really need at this moment in time? What do you need today? Whether that's, I need to be creative, I need to rest, I need to express myself, I need to be in silence, I need to be alone, I need to be in my own energy. That's completely fine. Another thing you can do is take a step back. Pause before you decide to give. Ask yourself, am I genuinely giving? Do I want to give? And three, am I just giving because I'm playing a role? Once again, this goes back to exercising that sacred no. And if that sacred no don't work, you can say hell no. Okay? No, even your silence speak louder than words. No, you don't owe anybody an explanation. 3, stop rescuing people from their own discomfort. People would rather leech off other people for validation, for clarity. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing at all times, but if you are not able to sit with yourself first and be like, how did I get myself in this situation? Why am I expecting this other person to show up for me when I put myself in this situation that I can't show up for myself? It's not your responsibility to carry other people's baggage just because you can. Because that gets in the way of them growing. That gets in the way of them learning and evolving themselves and their worth. For myself, I'm always like, well, I just am a genuine person and I really love them and I'm always finding a solution to every problem. But just as I'm cognitive of doing that and aware of doing that, so are other people. And if they're not, then why are you surrounding yourself with them? Time to take a step back so you can move forward in your life. If you're carrying everybody else's baggage, emotions, burdens, problems, you're only delaying your destiny and where you're meant to be. People are capable of moving forward in life just as much as you are. How can you be softer with yourself? And also, being soft isn't about weakness, it's about being present with yourself and with your needs. If you have a negative self talk, why are you not speaking to yourself as if you're speaking to somebody that you love? As if you're speaking to your inner child. Like, always try to be guided by your inner child and tune back into that gentleness of yourself, because the world, your experience over time taints you. You create layers and layers over your inner child, and you neglect your inner child, and your inner child is not going anywhere. So do not abandon yourself. Allow your inner child to guide you and show up for her in the best way that you can. Next thing is, let go of over explaining and over apologizing. You don't have to apologizing for existing. You don't have to ask permission. You don't have to over explain yourself to anybody, because at the end of the day, you're with you. You got to deal with your own problems at the end of the day. You have to take care of your own needs. And nobody else is going to do that for you. You don't owe anybody anything. You don't owe anybody an explanation for protecting your energy, for protecting your peace, for grieving, for needing time to yourself. for not wanting to respond, to not wanting to engage. You don't owe anybody an explanation. Give you that energy that you always are giving to other people. You get to grieve, rebuild, or just simply exist without the need for performing for other people. Your life is not a performance. You don't owe anybody anything. Even your loved ones, you don't owe them anything. You can choose to give because you want to give, and you can choose not to. And those choices within themselves are neutral. We add way too much power and thought into, like, well, if I don't do this, blah, blah, blah. And that's expectations not only for others, but for yourself. When you can learn to live without expectations, you free your load. You free yourself. I hope everybody's here and tuned in and absorbing this information and this wisdom. The next mantra is, I do not owe access to my heart, my story, or my energy. I am allowed to be scared, private, and at peace. Silence is not rejection, it is protection. I choose me without guilt. I honor my healing, not others' expectations. It's okay to be there for you. It's okay to need you. All the you that you put into everything outside of yourself, you need all of that yourself too. You don't have to be available for everybody else's needs all the time, especially when your needs are being ignored. Whether that is somebody else ignoring your needs or you ignoring the need that you need you. It's okay to need support. Find ways that you can support yourself. And if you find that you really can't hold space for you, then there are people that will. And I think it's also very sacred to acknowledge other people's time and energy, because I acknowledge I'm going through things in life. So are the people in my life too. And if they don't have space for me, that is okay. I will not take it personal. This goes back to, what ways can I show myself love? Journaling, self-reflection, reading books, dream work. What are your dreams? What is your subconscious mind telling you and revealing to you? Sitting with your uncomfortable feelings is your superpower, because once you learn how to transmute that and release it, then you can start to move on and feel even more empowered. In order for you to rewrite a new narrative for your life, you have to acknowledge your wounds, your lessons, your needs in the chapter that you're trying to close in your life. Because if we're really trying to move forward without acknowledging these things, then we're rereading the same chapter. We're rewriting the same chapter. It's time to rewrite a narrative of your highest self, of your most healed self and well-being, so you can have that deep self-worth, that self-love, that self-support, and easily be able to give to others when you are full, when you are whole. If you've been keeping up with me and my healing journey, you know that I have had the most healing and breakthrough just simply from journaling, to the point where, like, I love journaling so much, and I finally created my own journals. And so I'm just going to share them with you. And if you're interested in them, my link is going to be in the bio. You can support me via my website or Etsy. This is my piece called The Prophecy, and this is a manifestation journal. And the energy of the piece itself is the energy of manifestation. So everything else is just lined pages, and you can decide to like write whatever you want in there. I added the 12 laws of the universe and the 7 spiritual laws of success, and in this journal I do my gratitude and manifesting my life. This one is the Phoenix. The Divine Phoenix Awakening Activation Shadow Work Journal. Like I said, once again, the image itself is the transmutation and the power of this journal. And this is also a simple lined journal meant to be to transmute your shadows and come back to your power. But also it can just be used for any type of journaling you would like. The next journal is the popular one. I actually created this piece years ago, like I want to say like 4 years ago. And this is the Deer of the Divine Masculinity. And the colors are for the lower chakras. So the sacral, the solar plexus, and the root chakra. This is intended for us to be back in our power, to call back our action, to heal our masculinity wounds, and just to create. This one is a popular one. So in the front it has, take a leap of faith, believe in yourself, you are strong and mighty, create, be in your power, express yourself. And at the bottom it says, be confident in your abilities. This one is all blank, okay? It has my website on the very back here. So this could be a sketchbook or notebook. I personally prefer blank paper, but I will use lines for more sophisticated journaling. But this is the Deer of Divine Masculinity. This one is also a popular one. If you've seen One Piece, then you know the homie Brooks right here. The homie, okay? But, you know, for copyright purposes, this is the groovy skeleton I've made with my partner. This is a piece that we turned into our own because I love just how light and bubbly this character is, and I love tea. And so this is also a sketchbook, or it could be used in a journal that says, what's the tea? What's on your mind? What's going on in your life? You know, and once again, just blank pages. Okay, these are all very fun. And this one is very special one. This piece is the Pegasus of solar plexus activation. So this was actually my mom's favorite piece of mine. I created before she passed away, and she wanted this piece. And so it means a lot to me, but it has the solar plexus activation on it. This is a reminder to free ourselves, let our creativity free. This one has this on the inside. It says it belongs to, and set your imagination free. So once again, sketchbook, notebook, however you want to use it. All of these are available on my website. And if you find journaling just as healing as I do, then you'd love these journals. I've went through so many journals in my life, I can't even keep up, but each journal, it is important to remember, like, yes, you want to write to release, but you also want to make sure that you're going back in your journal and reflecting on what you wrote, because we need those constant reminders. If I could remember everything that I wrote down, like, that'd be great, but I can't. The brighter and bigger your light is, the bigger your shadow will be. As you go through this time in your life of constricting, know that you need to constrict and you need to go within so you can expand. Okay? So once you go through this discomfort, know that there's only expansion from here on. And unfortunately, we can't just skip steps to the expansion part as much as I'd like to. But I hope you all found love and wisdom and this self-therapy video. And if you have any questions or comments, please do leave a comment, or feel free to message me and express how you feel. Like, this is a safe space, and we are here to grow together and create a reality that is of our highest vibrational selves and of our highest timeline of love, peace, abundance, prosperity, security, and joy. We deserve that in our life. Don't allow the world and the external chaos to become your only reality. Your truth and what you want in your life is the vision that the Creator has given you. Everything else, let it be an illusion, let it be a distraction. This is not to say to be passive, right? This is to say to remember your focus, be disciplined, and take action. And I love you guys. Take care.